People who have had 10 out of 10 intercourse, how'd it go? In my mid-20s I had a coworker who was in an abusive relationship, who I had helped to get an actual therapist. I gave her tons of financial advice, and just helped pave the way for so she would have the means to eventually escape their abuser. Over time I realized I had 150% caught feelings for her. But I knew that was the last thing she needed, and I just couldn't bring myself to stoop that low, as I felt I would have been totally taking advantage of her. So I just ignored my feelings and continued to be the friend and support she needed. After working with her for about 2 years, she was still with her abuser, but she was doing way better and she had found a better paying job with more hours, so she quit and moved on to greener pastures that would get her on her own feet sooner. And as I didn't see her at work anymore, we fell out of touch as he would monitor her phone 24/7. Fast forward another year, all of a sudden I get a call from her asking if I was busy and if she could come hang out and celebrate finally escaping her now ex-abuser. I said sure. She came over that night, we smoked, caught up on life, watched a movie, and the next thing I knew she had her tongue down my throat and my junk in her hands. And there just isn't words for it. It was pure chemistry. Every touch was electric. It was the wettest, wildest, roughest, most passionate, no limits I've ever had. And it literally lasted from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. We would go until one of us had to tap out from being overstimulated. We'd take a break, cuddle, talk, smoke another bowl, etc. And it was right back at it. It was completely surreal. And the next night I asked if she was free and she was. We ended up having repeats of that night 3 to 5 times a week for about a month and a half. There just isn't enough words to describe the feeling of it all. Like I said, it was just pure chemistry. But like all good things, it came to an end. She realized she still had feelings for her ex-abuser, and she still had a lot to work through with her therapist before she was ready for an actual relationship, and she ghosted me. I ended up moving on, and it turns out shortly after that I met the woman of my dreams that's now my wife. And while I vividly remember every moment from those nights, I have never once answered one of her calls since.